Well, we are back once again with the Well Below Average podcast with Nick and Adam. I'm Adam, and Nick is that guy. I don't know which way you'll be oriented, but how you doing, Nick?
I'm good, doing well, and ready for another show. You're in front of me, so I don't know where you are in the uh, internet world, like above me, beside me. I don't really understand how that works, but we're here, so we're ready to go.
Yes, so we are back at it. I will tell you, we got a few more views from the video than we had been on the audio. So thanks to those for watching. Those on audio, keep it up. But we are on YouTube, the Well Below Average podcast on YouTube. Find us and yeah, subscribe, like our videos, share our videos, and make us rich and famous YouTubers. That's our goal.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'm a different background today. I'm in my daughter's nursery, so I've got like a Mickey here with a bunch of pins on it from Disney, and like you can see the curtains behind me. It's like all these colorful. I don't know if you can see those.
Mhm.
But decided I was not in our guest room where it's just like a plain wall. I wanted a more comfortable chair, so I'm in like this big recliner we have in here. So we'll see how it goes. If I fall asleep, just yell my name. It's pretty comfortable right here.
I am in this chair I'm in. I don't want to really show you just because it's kind of nasty. But this was my great grandmother's chair. It folds out into a bed. And when I was little, I used to sleep on it, and she had it years before that. So I think this thing's from like the 70s, maybe even 60s. It's an
Wow.
ancient, yeah.
Yeah, vintage on the podcast.
Yes, yes. It's not very comfortable, but it's very wide. You can kind of like curl up in it. It's a nice chair for that
Hmm.
anyway. Um, so this has been a weird week, like putting together the show, record on Saturday, a little earlier than we normally do. This is just not a good week for news, so we don't have a lot. Before we get into anything, you want to talk about rodeo coffee?
Yeah, so Rodeo Coffee, we have long longed, like we've longed for a coffee sponsor on this podcast, and we have one. Rodeo Coffee, right here in Fort Worth. It is small batch, hand roasted, uh, right here in the 817. Is that the only area code in Fort Worth? I guess not.
682 is what my number is.
I
Yeah.
well, right here in Fort Worth, no matter your area code, Rodeo Coffee, um, a locally roasted whole bean coffee that you can get. I don't know if you can get it ground. I need to check on that. I'm pretty sure it's just whole bean, but they have cold brew as well. You can find them at basically any pop up. I know they're at the Burleson Farmers Market every week, pretty consistently. But it's a small batch roasted right here in DFW. The Colombian blend is the one that I have had that I enjoy the most. Phenomenal coffee. Um, they are friends and sponsors of the Well Below Average podcast. So check them out if you're in need. Simple morning cup of coffee, like a lot of these other, roasts that are too complicated that get you all these weird fruit notes and crazy things happening. It is just a simple, good, easy drinking cup of coffee. Rodeo Coffee. Check them out. They're on Instagram, Facebook. They are friends of the show, and would be happy if you told them the Wubble Average podcast sent you. So check them out.
Definitely. I was checking real quick to see where else they'd be. I thought they posted some other spots, but yeah, Burleson Farmer Market. Uh, Great people over there.
And
Um,
I've seen them post that they're there like the last couple of weeks. Maybe they try to go, every week or as often as they have it. I don't know, but that'd be a good place. But their Instagram, they're always updating where they'll be.
yeah. So check them out on Instagram. Grab some good old coffee. Um, I want to get into something, and like I was saying, it's kind of been a downer week, just in the news and stuff. Like we got all the Afghanistan stuff, so it's been real hard for me to find some stories, right? Um,
Hmm.
but I did want to talk about one thing, and it's kind of an Adam hates it in a little bit of ways, and um, I'm gonna go off in a little rant if that's okay with you.
Go ahead. I'll just kick back in the recliner. I'll let you go.
So I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years, a long time ago. I mean, I got out 2000, right at the end of 2009, 2000, beginning 2010. So going on over 11 years I've been out, but I was in the Marine Corps, and it's, big part of my life, was a big part of my life for a long time. And one of the things that have happened recently is with the withdrawal from Afghanistan and Kabul, there was a bombing incident at the airport that killed 13 U.S. troops, Marines, and Navy corpsmen. Those are like the doctors, nurses that hang out with the Marines, keep them healthy. Um, and that's sad and it's tragic. And you know, just the way when you get into the Marine Corps, you see every Marine as your brother and sister, no matter what. It's kind of ingrained into you, and it's uh, really bothersome. The whole what happened, how it's been taken care of, all that has not been smooth. Has not been well managed, and a lot of blame to go around in leadership. And so I don't want to get political with it, and that's my whole kind of rant here. Is I have seen so many people I've served with, I've seen people that have never served in the military using the death of these Marines as a platform to push their political agendas on social media, and it that infuriates me. Like I
Mm.
see it, and and I'm not one to argue with people on social media, and I haven't yet, but I'm getting real close. But yeah, it's one of those I've seen the last couple of days since that. It's don't disrespect the sacrifice these Marines made, these sailors and Marines made for our country, and use them to their names to advance your own political agenda against the president, against politicians or whatever. It's makes me very upset
Yeah.
that we can't sit there and mourn the loss and thank these people and show love towards their families. We have to use it as a way to say Biden screwed up or Trump screwed up. And I don't really care at this point. It's stop doing that. If you're doing that, stop. Have some class. Show some respect. And that's my
Yeah.
rant.
Yeah. My dad was a Marine. He served in Vietnam. His brother, Marine. My grandpa, a Marine. So my dad, always talked about that a lot. The brotherhood of it. The family uh, feel is not the right word, but how it's just like you said, ingrained into you. And he was always very. He served, was in war, and after he came back, had a lot of struggles with that, and became um, not anti-military, but very anti-war because of what it can do to the people that participate, and not just the loss of life, but of course that being the biggest one, and the thing that we all, as just normal people see, and every time something like this happens, something tragic, the loss of life, especially military, and it's absolutely tragic. There are always, and I feel like I know the people on my social media. I'm sure you do too. You're like, this is the person that's always going to be like, because this happened because of this. How could you support blank? Or this is what we get for this is what you people get for voting in this person, or whatever it is. There's always those people, and I, like you, I haven't commented or interacted on social media because it's almost never worth it.
Right.
You don't gain anything. It usually goes in circles, and everyone ends up angry. But it's tough, and I haven't served. I can't legitimately, but it's in my family. I mean, I, in fact, just the other day found a bunch of my dad's old, like, Marine Corps. They're not yearbooks from like when he was in, boot camp and all of those
Mhm.
things, and a bunch of his old pictures, and was going through that. And it's something that was really important to him. And just, I remember always him, whenever something like this would happen, how he talked about it. And it was never the way that, you know, uh, some middle class mom in Fort Worth posts about it on the internet. And I think
Right.
that's what we need to realize. And that's what, and I'm right there with you. That's what makes it so frustrating.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Anyway, I went on my rant. uh, got that out of my system. But yeah, but it has been a hard week. It was a really hard week to sit down and say, let's find some fun stories to talk about. But I did find a couple. Um, so you gonna move on to a little news here?
Yeah, let's hear some news.
All right, explore or snore. If you're new to the show, I will read off a news segment title or headline, as they call it, and Nick will tell me if it sounds exciting and we want to explore, or it's boring and we're gonna hit the snooze and snore on that one. So I only found four stories, but we'll go through them. Should go through this rather quickly. I think they're pretty good, the ones I did find. So, story number one: parents must pay $30,441 for getting rid of son's porn cache.
Just because this is a family show, I think I want to snore.
Is that
And
the
then
right
I'm in
word?
my daughter, and I'm in my
Cash?
daughter's. I think it's cachet. I'm in my
Okay.
daughter's nursery, so that would just it would feel it wouldn't feel good.
It's yeah, okay, we'll snore it. It's interesting. But yeah. All right, we're gonna snore the porn story. Um Next, you're no fun. uh Bear caught on video stealing package from Connecticut porch.
So I feel like this happens. This kind of thing happens a lot. Um, and I feel like I mean that the headline probably tells us most of the story, but maybe it doesn't. So let's explore a little further.
Oh no, the headline pretty much tells it all. A Connecticut woman who had a package stolen from her front porch discovered the culprit was a black bear. They used obviously home surveillance video. They posted it on the internet, and a black bear just strolls up the driveway, grabs a package in its mouth, and wanders off. Um, yeah, she asked if anybody sees the package laying around anywhere, if they would please return it to her. But yeah, don't try to take her package from the bear, please.
I don't. I think I'm one of the few people that does not have one of those doorbell cameras. We don't have any sort of security system at our. Maybe I shouldn't say that on the internet, but we don't have any we don't have like any legitimate like, oh, we got a camera where we can talk through our phone kind of thing.
Yeah, is it unprofessional for me to drink water all the time?
No, I have some water right over here. In fact, stay hydrated, everyone. That's our message.
Yes, I've been at a pop-up shop all day in the heat, and I'm like, I haven't fully regained my liquid.
There's a when you spend, even if you're like shaded, when it's hot like this, if you spend the majority of the day outside, it's pretty wild how much it drains you. Now I don't having a newborn is the perfect excuse not to go outside. Like we barely ever leave the house. The other morning, one day this week, we got up. She was awake pretty early, so in about 7:15, we decided, oh, let's go on a walk around the neighborhood. She likes it. It's not too hot out, but I still was sweating so much, and it was like 7:30 in the morning. Uh, it wasn't all that late, and it was already very warm.
It's humid. It's always humid. That's the worst part.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
unbearable. So unbearable. Get it? Bear story. Pun.
I
I did it.
I get it.
I did a good thing. Moving on. Um, fastest. What is the This is the title of the article. What is the fastest animal on Earth? So I pose a question to you, Nick. What is the fastest animal on Earth?
I'm gonna say I don't know the exact name. I think it's a falcon of some kind.
A falcon. So it's a story reads like the fastest land animal is a cheetah, right? It's pretty undisputed. They can get
Right.
up into the 70-mile-an-hour range. And this story kind of asks the question, what do you consider fastest animal on Earth? Because apparently what is this called? A pronghorned antelope can get up to 60 miles an hour at sprint, but can sustain a speed of 45 miles an hour for miles, while a cheetah can get up to 70, but only for a very short time. So
Hmm.
if you can like outlast the cheetah, that initial burst, you could probably get past it. But you are correct. A peregrine falcon. You want to guess how fast it goes?
Is it like 90?
Higher.
Ooh, I don't know. Then what is it?
200 miles per hour.
Way higher. I guess that's when it's like diving or whatever they
No,
call it.
dive speed's 350.
Wow.
And that hasn't been documented, but scientists have done sciencey stuff to determine that.
Mm. Sciencey stuff. That's something that I do not know anything about.
They're math, probably some math. Fastest ocean creature is a black marlin, just a piddly
Hmm.
80 miles an hour.
Yeah, chump change.
Yeah, but is that speed? Like, do you count speed in water? Is swimming really speed?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I don't do science stuff. That's a question for the scientists, not for
Science.
me. Yeah, exactly.
Let's learn. Scientists are always getting in the way of our good times. I didn't even ask you if you want to explore or snore that one, did I?
No, but it was good. It was a. What's the last story?
Alcohol made from radioactive Chernobyl apples seized by Ukraine government.
Yeah, let's explore this because I watched the Chernobyl HBO mini series that they did. That was very good.
What?
That was like I watched it like during the pandemic. I don't know when it came out. Maybe it was during the pandemic. Um, but I think I did at least. I don't. You know, time is a made up construct anyway. So who knows when it was? But that series was very good. So yeah, Chernobyl is real interesting. But what is the details here?
So in 2019, scientists again, think scientists,
Scientists.
and a group of scientists and distillers created a new type of booze. So what they did is they went in and took ingredients, fruit from that was growing in the Chernobyl radioactive exclusion zone, where you're not supposed to be, and made 1,500 bottles of, I don't know, it's probably vodka. I'd imagine it's vodka.
That's very on brand.
Yes, it doesn't say, but I'm going to use deductive reasoning, not stereotyping, deductive reasoning. It's a Chernobyl Spirit Company, is what they're called. So they are not hiding what it is, and it's called atomic alcohol.
Would you drink this?
I think I would, just to say, you know,
All right, man. It was nice knowing you.
hey, I had to do testing in the Marine Corps because we had a helicopter go down in a training exercise, and I went to go secure it. Um, so the helicopter wings, the real big ones, are hollow. So they're hollow and they're pressurized because they would weigh too much. They're huge. I mean, they're like 30 feet long, and they have these little plugs. They're called ibises that are radioactive. And when the blade loses pressure, it will pop that, and there's a sensor that will pick up the radioactivity because anything else, the air would just blow it away. And they didn't know that one of those things had popped. So we were sitting around this helicopter with radioactive material all around us for like days.
Wow.
So,
Maybe
and I
that's
had
why
one,
you can grow such a good beard.
maybe, and I had a thing I used to set my feet on when I was in Iraq, and I didn't realize it was the actual radiation detector, which itself was radioactive, and it was just under my desk. I don't know how it got there. It was there when I got there, and I just would sit my feet on it, and then they told me, yeah, you should probably not have that there. 6 months
Yeah,
later.
maybe a good
Um,
idea. I don't know
so
if I would drink that. I mean, I would try a lot of things, but that HBO series kind of creeped me out. Um, so I don't know if I'd try it. Maybe I would. Who knows?
that needs to be a thing. Revisit that series. That was an amazing. I thought it was
It
really good.
really was very well done.
Yeah. Well, and the point of the story, I guess we'll get back to that. I went off there. Um, the Ukraine government, after they made the bottles, came and seized it, and there really no explanation why they did it. Um,
Because they're trying to cover stuff up still.
yeah. So, oh, it even says it in the thing. The HBO series came out May 2019.
Okay,
If you're
so this
curious.
is before. Man,
Yeah.
shows
So,
shows how well I keep up with
yeah,
days.
and so they've changed the recipe to make it completely radiation free, but they're still trying to get their radioactive alcohol back.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, it's and that's it with for explore or snore. Do we have a Nick hates it today?
You know, it has been just kind of a heavy week with a lot going on and a lot of just all kinds of stuff. I don't really have anything that I really hate this week. I do really want. Oh, this is actually something. Um, this is happening today, and something that happened this week kind of spurred this on. It was National Dog Day at some point this week, and I like dogs. I'm also very allergic to dogs. But here's what I hate, Adam. I hate the the dog person. You know, the weird dog person, because we have a cat. We love our cat. He appeared on the show last week. If you missed it,
Yes.
but there is a big time bias out there. Like, if you really like your cat, people think you are a weirdo. But if you really like your dog, like, it is totally normal. Like, it's like people love that. Like, bring your dog to a restaurant. You know, take your dog everywhere. Like, it's
Bark at the
totally
park, man.
fine. And that's exactly what I was about to say. Bark at the
Oh,
park. I cannot imagine. First of all, where do they go to the bathroom? Do they have like, I'm sure they have like stations of, fake grass or something like that. I don't know. Second of all, home runs, foul balls. How has a dog never just gotten obliterated by a baseball? Like, that's shocking that that's never happened. Or even like try to catch a baseball and like ends up getting hurt. Like, I guess good on owners and good on Major League Baseball. Like, that this hasn't happened. Maybe they have certain designated seating areas that you have to be in to prevent that kind of thing. Surely there's something like that. But bark
mhm.
at the park, um, annoying. Dog, like, the cat bias, the dog, like, it's okay to love your dog so much and put them in your family pictures. But if you did have your cat, you're a weirdo. So not a huge Nick hates it, but that's something that's really it's on my nerves this week.
I will say, we have 3 dogs, 2 cats. The dogs are a little easier to like move around. Like, not I'm not picture dogs in the family picture guy at all. But I feel like I could get my dogs to sit still for a picture. Those
Mm.
cats aren't gonna sit still for 2 seconds. They're
Yeah, they do what they want.
yeah, and I respect that. I respect the cat because it's very like, I heard a joke on TikTok, like, you know dogs, the way dogs think versus cats think. It's, a dog, my owner feeds me, he pets me, he bathes me, he gives me out, plays with me, gives me all my love and attention. My owner must be a god. Cat, my owner feeds me, bathes me, gives me all the attention, plays with me. I must be a god.
Yeah, that's funny.
So
It's pretty true. But
yeah,
yeah, that's all I have this week for Nick Case, and nothing major.
Nick, I need you to bring the hate next week. You know,
I'll try.
let's let's
I'll
tear
I'll,
down
I'll try
establishments.
to I'll try to bring more hate, vitriol, fire, whatever you want to call it.
That's what we need from you. Um, so let's move on to some TV movie talk. I got a few topics here, so let's get on to that. Have you watched Reservation Dogs yet?
I have not. I have watched very little TV this week since we last spoke. Um, so I have not. I have not watched it yet.
So Reservation Dogs, are you familiar with the concept? Have you heard of it?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't really know anything about it.
It's a great show. It's a really the first show I think really maybe ever, first comedy especially, that centers around Native American people on a reservation. And it's
Hmm.
four kids who are they're trying to get money to move off the reservation, move to California. I believe they're in Oklahoma, and they're basically criminals. Like they're responsible for all the crime on the reservation. Um, they stole, like, the first show. They steal a chip delivery truck, and then they trade it. They sell it to some chop shop, and they get to keep the chips. And they're always hustling and doing stuff, and it's really funny because then another gang of, like, kids come up, and they don't really know how to be gangsters, and it's pretty funny. Like, they drive by each other, but with, like, paintballs, and they really sell it. It's pretty funny. It's well written, great show. I'd highly recommend Reservation Dogs.
Let's get to the real news of TV that dropped yesterday that we are ambassadors for uh, on this show, on this podcast. Uh, I don't want to say the only news that matters in television, but some of the only news that matters in television.
That would be Cobra Kai season 5, ahead of the season 4 premiere, has been confirmed at Netflix.
Now, have they stated when the season 4 premiere? Is it December?
I don't know.
I,
I haven't heard.
I thought it was December, but I might be off on that.
It could be. Hold on. I'm one of the staples of our podcast is looking at stuff, looking up
Yeah,
stuff.
don't
December.
mind the man behind the curtain here. December,
December. That's what I'm seeing on the Google.
and they've already got season 5 in the works. I am, we this is the show of Cobra Kai. We were fans of it before many were. I remember watching it on the YouTube Red days when that was like YouTube's streaming service. That was the first season. So we're excited. We got 2 more seasons for sure that we'll review. We got to wait till December for one of them, and then who knows after that? Probably about a year, I would think. That we'll have to wait. But yeah, Cobra Kai season 5 is going to be on the way.
Yes, great news. I'm happy about that. It's kind of shocking. I know Netflix is real weird because they'll cancel shows that seem great, and not that Cobra Kai isn't great, but then they'll extend shows that just kind of out of nowhere. Doesn't seem to be any
Yeah.
rhyme or reason for it. But I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
this one is getting a good chunk of, I'd be happy with 5 seasons. Some
Yeah.
some shows go too long, some shows don't get enough, but I think a show like that, 5, 6 seasons, maybe even a little movie in there, would be,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, it doesn't need to drag on. We don't need to, drag it on.
mm,
We'll see how season 4 goes. And what I'll be interested whenever they do end it is how they wrap up the story. What is the end game? So we'll see.
yeah. So looking forward to that. Cobra Kai. Did you hear about this? I thought this was interesting. So Hotel Transylvania Part 4, the transformation, is coming out. I'm sure you're excited about it. Were you
I I don't know anything about it.
So it's Adam Sandler kind of cartoon venture. He starred in it, he produced, wrote the second one, was all over it. And the fourth one's coming out very soon. And I just really caught wind of this. Adam Sandler and Kevin James from, Kevin James is, right? The King of
Yeah.
Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the two stars. They will not be in the fourth one. All other stars, Andy Sandberg, Selena Gomez, Steve Buscemi, David Spade, all of them will be, reprising their roles, but the two main guys won't be in it.
Hmm.
And there really is no reason why. Just won't.
Maybe hot take here. Adam Sandler, man, his prime is way behind him. As far as being in movies, like just not that funny anymore. Not that doesn't. And what was that movie? Oh gosh, where he was like the gambler. Um,
Oh, Uncut Gems. I never saw it.
yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. But like the reason I say is like Waterboy came on the TV today and we watched a little bit of it. Like that was his peak, Waterboy, Billy Madison, Mr. Deeds, all that stuff. Um, and maybe that comedy just doesn't work anymore. Like it was like, maybe it was like late '90s style or '90s style, whatever it was. Um, and it just doesn't fit. But I've been out on Adam Sandler for quite a while. Like Grown Ups, pretty good. Not bad. Kevin James, David Spade in that as well. Um, but yeah, these days I could, live without Adam Sandler. Not that I want, not that I want him to die or anything. I could live without
Take him out.
him as an actor. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I agree with you. I didn't even really like the Grown Ups that movies that much. Those that much. Yeah, I think my favorite is Wedding Singer. There's got so many just classic lines to me.
Mm. But
Um,
yeah, I'm not the best for movie talk. That might be a Nick Cage. I'm not a movie person, like at all. My wife loves movies. I could maybe go. I like legitimately movies that I've wanted to watch in the past year. I would say is less than five, maybe five. But yeah,
maybe
I'm just not a movie person.
so you're not excited that the Spider-Man trailer came in and broke the internet, I guess.
I did like the trailer, but I'm a very one of the original Nick Cage, going back to the radio days, was superhero movies. And we talked about this because it's just kind of all the same. But that trailer I thought was very good. I loved all the Easter eggs, I guess you could call them, in it. Was really entertaining. Spider-Man's a fun hero. Um, I enjoyed the trailer. I might watch the movie. We'll see.
Okay, and yeah, I like it. I was excited about it. I disagree with you. They're awesome, and um, so I've gotten into last little tidbit here, and then I think we got a new segment we're gonna give a shot. But um, you're not a big WWE guy, I don't think.
I'm not. I mean, I'm like very somewhat aware of like I've been seeing, some of the stuff that's been happening in the recent weeks, but yeah, I don't know much about it.
So WWE has I've noticed. So I was big into it in the '90s when I was in high school, teenager, middle school, high school, during the Attitude Era. And I've noticed as I've my son's gotten into it, my 8-year-old, and I watch with him, and I notice they really try, especially around their big events, the WrestleMania, SummerSlam, um, they're like 3 or 4 big pay-per-views. They try to bring back those old Attitude Era guys. And these guys are in their 50s, 60s, some of them, and they for the second time in the last couple years they've dusted off Goldberg,
Yeah, I did see that.
and it's just pathetic. He's, for a 56-year-old, fantastic shape. But when
Mm.
he's wrestling, some of these guys now, Bobby Lashley's who he wrestled, who looks like a Greek god statue. Like he's just like Goldberg was never this guy's size, like he just looks like a kind of a scrawny guy now. It just doesn't do it for me. His intensity isn't there anymore, and he's there for the paycheck. What they've been doing that
Right.
it doesn't. They got John Cena coming back once a year, and mercifully they stopped bringing the Undertaker back. Um,
Yeah, and he like he just looks bad too. Like
yes,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean they're playing to like a lot, the crowd that still loves the nostalgia and the all that, and um, I don't personally, I don't know how it sticks around. I think it's, I mean, what I've heard it described as like soap operas for men. Um,
Yeah.
It's the storyline, but I think it's just beyond cheesy. I never really got into it even as a kid.
I am excited, and it's just because I loved The Rock is supposed to be coming back for the next WrestleMania, so I'm kind of
That
excited
that
about that.
that will break the internet. Um,
Yes.
like, because even me, like a casual person, will like wait for the video to drop on Twitter to like to see what he does and be in there and all that.
Yeah, and he's like, God, he's clownishly big now. He's gonna
Hmm.
get up like Ronnie Coleman. You heard about Ronnie Coleman? You know who that is?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's crippled himself. He got so strong, his body broke under his own muscles.
yeah. Couldn't hold himself up basically.
Yeah, so let's hope he doesn't go there. But that's it for old TV talk. And you hit me with an idea this week about a new segment, so I'm gonna let you talk about it.
Yeah, it's the below average debate of the week. We're going to come to you each week with something that's not worth debating and debate about it. So this week, this is what gave me the inspiration. My wife and I was making breakfast um, because it's 2021 and gender roles, we can throw them out the window. Anyway, I was making breakfast for us, and I was making like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and I was scrambling up some eggs, putting some cheese in there. And then it came to the bacon. This is where the debate comes in. Anytime I make a burrito sandwich for breakfast, and there's bacon, there's sausage, potato, even, or even cheese. And I know most people do this with cheese, but I scramble up the eggs most of the way, and then I put the topping in with the eggs and stir it together to incorporate it all together in one thing. My wife wants the eggs and then the bacon on top of them. So we had a small tiff debate argument about what's the better way. And so I bring this question to you. Do you like to incorporate your bacon, your potato, your sausage into your breakfast into the eggs so it's all together? Or do you like the stack method where it's on top, egg, cheese, bacon on top of one another? More like a hamburger.
So, if you're making a breakfast sandwich, laws of sandwiching dictate international laws of sandwiching. Let me add, dictate the stack method. If you're going with a burrito, a plated, scramble, then you incorporate.
Okay. So you're riding the fence in this debate. I will say you bring up a valid point. A sandwich by law is stacked. I think, however, throw that out the window. It tastes much better all incorporated.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that. Yeah, if I'm going to scramble, it's all incorporated. Yes. You know, the stack is good, but I don't think I've ever had. I'm trying to think if I ever had like a scramble type all incorporated on a bun, and I don't think I've had that. I'm gonna have to try that.
You're missing out. I like to you cook the bacon and you kind of chop it up or rip it up or whatever you're doing and mix it all in there. It's real good with the cheese and all that good stuff. But yeah, that was our debate this week, and obviously it's of very little importance, and that's kind of the point. Well below average debate of the week. If you have something that you do that other people don't, that spars a debate between you and your siblings, significant other, kids, let us know. Hit us up in the comments of the show. Let us know on Twitter. We'll bring it to the video waves here. But that was the topic that it in fact not just this week. Every time we make a breakfast sandwich, a breakfast burrito, because even with like a burrito, my wife still eggs, bacon like laid on top of it. Um, and so we always have to bring that up each time. I always incorporate no matter what.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think it matters with the burrito. You don't see it. I don't know. Uh, yeah, I'm kind of riding the fence. I got a good topic. I don't know. This may be polarized. This may be a little too real, but I think we need to discover at one point, seat up or down. Is that the man's responsibility?
Seat up or down?
Toilet seat.
So I grew. We can discuss this now.
Okay.
I grew up in a house mostly with just my mom, and so I grew up always putting the seat down. Like she told me, just put the seat down, and so I've always grown up doing that. Like it's just a habit. Um, my wife even commented on it. When we first were living together, she's like, "You always put the seat down." I was like, "That's just what I've always done." So I feel like I'm a bad person to gauge this off of because I've never had that real issue.
I so I never did it. I never thought about it because it was literally my mom in a house of boys.
Hmm.
So it was not. I don't think it was a battle she was trying to wage.
Hmm.
Um, and then I got older, dating, got my own place, and like a couple girlfriends here and there, and it was expected that I put the seat down. And it was perplexing to me because they would fall in, and I'm like, I mean, do you run into the restroom backwards?
And you don't even look.
Yeah, close my eyes and just hope for the best. And
I
I
could
am
see it being an issue like at night. It's dark. You're stumbling in the bathroom, like barely awake. But all other times, I don't know. Don't
it,
really
it
get it.
yeah, and luckily my wife is kind of on board. She thinks if you fall in, there's something wrong with you. Like, look, like, why wouldn't you double check? Just expect it
Hmm.
down. Um, so it's not an issue at our house, but it's something I kind of feel my oldest daughter is going to make it an issue as she gets older with whomever her significant other is. She's kind of girly like that. So, and of course I'll side with whomever it is. I'm just going to side with them.
Yeah, but that's going to be our new segment. We don't want to debate serious topics. Anything that you think is a well below average debate that really doesn't deserve time, we want to give it that time here. So let us know, and we'll bring it to light each week.
Awesome. I like it. You know what else I like there, Nick? Our other sponsor, Local Menace. Did you know if you go to localmenace.com and use coupon code BEARDCREW, BEARDCREW, you get 25% off your entire purchase. Now, Local Menace is Dallas based, artist owned. They're a streetwear brand that is hell bent on destroying your wardrobe with shirts, hats, stickers, and other dumb merchandise. So destroy your wardrobe now at localmenace.com. I don't have my Local Menace shirt this week. It's dirty on the floor.
But you do have it, just not on.
Yes. I went hiking in it. I've been going hiking lately.
Where do you go to hike?
I have there's some like behind my house or like a block behind my house there's a just these trails. It's some land owned by Everman School District. It's all grown up, but there's trail people take their dirt bikes out there and ATVs, but we'll go walk those trails and stuff. Just
Huh,
hike around. Yeah. It's pretty cool. And then you
city hiking.
city hiking. And if you take a wrong turn, you'll turn out like turn into a neighborhood. Like, oh, okay. Not really knowing where you're at. Um, all right, so that's that. This flow of the show is amazing. Well, let's close on a little sport. Not much going on. You mentioned last week, and it's same as this week. We're kind of in the dead zone in the sport world. But a big trade happened yesterday, I believe. In the NFL world, the Jaguars traded Gardner Minshew to the Eagles for a late round draft pick, 6th round conditional.
Well,
What's
that
your
was
thoughts on
actually,
that?
I believe, today, this morning,
Okay.
maybe. I Fine move. I don't really think Gardner Minshew's anything special, but he's a quality backup, solid player. Jalen Hurts doesn't work. He could probably make be okay. Um, I hear people saying the Cowboys should have made this trade because their backup quarterback situation is so bad. I don't know. I don't think it would really matter that much either way. But uh, unsurprisingly, Jaguars going all in on Trevor Lawrence, which obviously they were going to do. But going to the Eagles gives them a little insurance behind Jalen Hurts, who is very unproven. But 2 weeks from tomorrow is the start of the NFL season. So I think next week we should do our movie quarterback show or movie TV show. We can kind of figure it out, but we'll bring that to the show next week as we get ready for another year of football. College football week 0, which I've always thought is weird, started today. High school football started this weekend. NFL 2 weeks from tomorrow. So we're getting there. We're making it, but it's just still kind of quiet.
Yeah. I'm just kind of shocked to keep on the Minshew thing a little bit. The amount of Cowboys fans, like you said, it seems like kind of a zero-sum move. I don't really care, but the Twitterverse of Cowboys fans seem to be very upset that Dallas didn't go for this. But like you said, it doesn't make sense in a lot of ways, especially for the Jaguars. If you're wanting a conditional pick, he's more likely to play in Philadelphia than in Dallas. Because I don't think Jalen's that good. But you a boxing fan? You like the sweet science?
I am not a boxing fan.
But you are a Jake Paul fan. I hear you drone on and on about him.
No, but I feel like he fights like every 3 weeks.
Yeah, he is. So he's fighting. I forgot the name. Tyron Woodley. That sounds right. A real legit MMA fighter who's actually been a UFC champion in a boxing match tonight. Very soon.
This weekend at some point.
This week? Yeah. Maybe tomorrow. God, I just want to see him get beat up. I see Jake Paul, and all he does is just talk and talk. He's like a less talented Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, I feel like he's fighting all the time, and he's making a lot of money, so I can't hate him for that.
Yeah, it's a good gig if you can get it. Rangers farm system jumped from number 24th to 11 overall, according to MLB Pipeline.
Who cares? That's what is that? What? I'm trying to think of what movie that's from or what show, but yeah, don't care.
Don't care.
Until the Rangers start with. I saw this on Twitter this week. The Rangers now will have secured, they secured a losing season for sure, based on math and science. And this now will be the worst 5-year stretch in Texas Rangers history, which is crazy to think about. Because I think back to like when I was younger, some of those early 2000s teams are really bad. But it's nothing like this. Good thing they got that new stadium that they needed so badly to put out this kind of product. But this is the worst. Will be the worst 5-year stretch as far as record and losing in the club's. Texas. So yeah, it's bad. That's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, who cares? I don't know. That was pretty neat. But Mavs miss on Markkanen going to the Cavs. I know you weren't big on. You didn't really kind of care if he came here or not. And ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 form an alliance to schedule themselves together to combat the SEC's domination of college football.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in a few years when all this really starts taking place. Texas and OU and all this stuff, and what direction, especially college football goes. To some extent, college basketball, but those are the two big ones. But football, of course, rules everything, and we'll see where it goes. But college sports, it's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, going to be. There's almost going to be no point for the NCAA anymore. You're just going to have super conferences. So why have any governing body when these conferences are going to be so big? But that's it. That's all I got for today. I'm still hot from this afternoon, and yeah. Got anything else for us?
I don't. I'm going to, uh, I guess, leave this, nursery Disney room, or maybe I'll fall asleep in here. I don't know, but nothing else really happening. Check out our sponsors and let us know what you think about the show.
Yep. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, like us, share us, all that good stuff. But until we see you again, stay above average.